Hi.
Hi. How's it going, Dee Dee?
Good. We do just kind of like pop
We
on,
do.
huh?
It's like, poof, hi. And then it's that awkward, like, hi. I don't know what I'm doing. But we have some people coming in on the side already.
Yeah.
We have, should we announce who we have backstage today? We have someone different backstage.
Yeah, we have a different producer today.
Miss Producer, you want to pop up real quick and say hi?
Oh, I'm gonna kill you. I said I was backstage only because it's one of those days.
Oh, you're so cute. Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for being our producer this evening.
Well,
Yeah.
not a problem. I'm just here for comments, to put up comments and links. Rob he's got big things going on. We're getting set for the holiday season for Get Haunted. So lots of things going on, and I thought I would help them out and try to relieve some stress. So you guys are going to have an amazing show, and that's it. That's all you get.
Thank you. Oh, okay. So should we say hi to a few of our people here on the side real quick before we jump in? Let's see. Who do we? Well, Stacy. Stacy's number one. Hey, Stacy. You see, we have Mark Brown as well.
Yeah.
And Sam. Hi, Sam.
Sam.
So, Dee Dee, how was your Thanksgiving holiday?
Good. It seems like it was a whole week of activities. I feel like I was doing something every day and it's all just kind of meshed together, but I feel relaxed. So I think it was good.
That's good. Oh my gosh, that's always good to be able to just like switch gears and kick back for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. It actually helped me. I started remembering dreams again. So, and I reached out to you. Like I finally got myself to have my phone like right within arm's reach right away so that I can quick find that notepad app, right?
Yeah.
So, it's been a godsend. So
yeah, that makes a huge difference to record it right away.
It really does. And then we were talking about that, how you think you're going to remember stuff. And then, like for me anyway, within a couple of minutes, everything's completely gone already.
Yeah. Well, I'll even like record something at like, say 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And in my mind, I remember it all, I'm sure. And I'll even wake up and kind of remember some of the dream. Yeah. And then I'll like open up the app and I'll see it's really long and I'll be like, and I'll go back and read through it. And there'll be a bunch of stuff that I didn't remember until I read it. And I'm like,
see? So it really it does pay to have actually I like the phone app a lot better than having a pen and paper next to my bed because you can even like talk to text if you really need to. If it's in the middle of the night, you don't want to look at anything. But
I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to hear what like the 3 o'clock in the morning version of myself coming out of a dream sounds like.
I know. I'm probably a hot mess. I can tell you that much. Not even going to be making sense at that point.
Because maybe you would make like further commentary too if you record it. I always say I'm going to do that and I have yet to do it.
It's actually a really good idea. Oh my gosh. I have how many recorders in my bag for paranormal investigating? Yeah, I could just like set one on the side and
just have one running all night and then just blurt out your dream.
That'll be it though, because I have things that happen here. So like in the middle of the night, I'll get an EVP or something and play it back. I'll be,
oh my God,
I'll never want to sleep again.
I love this idea. You got to try it.
All right, I'm going to try it. I'll try it tonight. We'll see what happens. Hey. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys can hear this. Every time I move, my chair's squeaking. I'm sorry.
Sam is always has a lot of dreams too. I think Sam has really good recall.
Oh.
And there's Faye. We have some dreams from Faye.
So we had a few dreams that were sent in to us this time, right?
Well, we had some from Faye. That's the only ones I got.
Faye, and then
I got one from you.
And then one from me because I actually remembered to write one down. Faye, are you okay with us going through one of your dreams? Dee Dee, if that's okay. Sorry, I'm kind of like...
No, that's fine. I got it up. I'm going to give a little bit of the background, Faye, if that's okay. I don't know. Everything that you wrote, is that just like okay to read no matter what it is? I just want to get confirmation on that. Sure. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So basically, since she was young, it sounded like she was having a repetitive dream symbol, which was a shadow figure. And as she was going into the dreams, she would get what she called like a low vibrational like sensation, and she'd be like aware of her surroundings. So she was in that, I like to call it the twilight zone, but it's the hypogognic. See, I can't say it. That's why I like to say twilight. Oh. That state in between right before you're falling asleep and being awake. So there's like this weird time where you can see things and experience things. And I don't know if that's like a good time for maybe someone in the paranormal, a spirit to like, insert themselves, because we're kind of like still and kind of, stuck. But so she always had this shadow figure that seemed to bother her. And at some point she decided to confront it. And so that's kind of where I want to start reading the dream. So it says, I was looking at the foot of the bed. I was frightened. I was trying to wake up, and I'm like, no, you're going to face it. You're going to look at what's there. And when I finally looked, I saw a young man at the foot of the bed. He had dirty blonde hair, the bluest blue eyes, no shirt, and blue jeans. And it was like I was communicating with him in my mind, talking. I'm going, you don't belong here. You need to move on. And he said to me, he goes, I can't leave. And I'm like, why can't you leave? It's time to leave. And he points out the hallway and he says, I hung myself out there and I looked out and I go, you just need to forgive yourself. It's time to move on. There's just love in the light. It's time to move on. And he looked at me like, really, that's it? And he walked out the hallway and I never saw him again. So that was the end. Wait, is that the end? And so I still wasn't sure of anything. I didn't know if it was a dream or if it was like something paranormal, because apparently she's had several different spirits come to her. And another example was a little blonde girl that was bouncing back and forth off the bed. So it seems like, I feel like the shadow has turned into little children's spirits. So just that first dream, what I got is the shadow basically was something that she needed to address. It could be a fear. It is the symbol that something has triggered a memory or a past feeling, something probably negative. And so I asked her to describe what a shadow figure is. And she said, it's just an outline. There's no real detail. So it's general. It's just a general symbol for any time she gets that sort of feeling. And so I said, the boy who hung himself, you're telling him to forgive himself. So that's an aspect of you. Wait, that aspect of you does not belong with you anymore. He did point to the hallway of transition. He killed himself. So why is he still there? He represents something you thought you let go of. You even say it's time to move on. So it could be memories. It could be something that you thought you let go of, but you actually haven't. And then the girl bouncing off the bed, something that won't let you rest. So it's now coming back to you, and it just keeps bugging you, and you're not addressing whatever it is, and that's why they keep coming back, because they want to be addressed. And the fact that they're children, I don't think that's as important if it's a shadow or children. I think that they probably appeared as children because you were more likely to not be afraid of them and interact with them. So that's for that first dream.
Okay. I did pull a few cards for this while you were reading this one. And I think some of this actually lines up. So when you were talking about, in the beginning, when you're talking about the young man, was it a young man that couldn't move on? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was a young man who hung himself.
Okay. So as you were going through that and how she was explaining to him that you just go towards the light or move on, or however she said it, I got the Hermit. So the Hermit is kind of being like introverted, stuck within yourself, not venturing into the outside world. But also the fact that there was the lantern, kind of like Faye was kind of being a guiding light for this, whatever the aspect of this dream. There was kind of like, there is a guiding light here. There is this needing to look inside to find an answer almost. And then from that, when she was saying like, that's all you need to do, I got the 10 of Cups. And for me, like the rainbow right away, just like finding happiness, finding that wholeness, being able to just be in that moment and enjoying life. So kind of just like whatever needs to be let go, if you let go of it, you know, all of the bad things kind of melt away and you have your aspect of yourself. And then I pulled Ace of Pentacles, which for some reason it was more of this down here, like the garden opening. It was kind of like you're going to be, if you can just get past whatever this is that you're afraid to move past, then this opens up a whole brand new door. Almost Ace Pentacles tend to be more of like a materialistic grounding. So this could be even like getting past that hump, opening, like walking through the door is going to ground you. And then I got, what is this one? Was that 9 of Pentacles? And this is just a woman who's kind of like in her prime, in her glory. She's just absolutely enjoying all of the work that she's put into her garden, and she's in her moment of power, kind of a thing. So this kind of is just like if you can get past whatever's holding you back from moving on, you come into this beautiful moment of just empowerment within yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense at all.
Yeah, it does. It totally fits. And even some of that fits with because she sent 3 dreams and one kind of fits into one of the other dreams as well. Oh. You want to keep moving through her dreams?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Did anyone have anything before we move on there? Did anyone have any questions or anything in between? Should we? What did Stacy say? Took a nap today and had a dream of saving a toddler from an erupting volcano by driving down the side of the mountain while popping a wheelie and a sea Corvette. Wow. And running a Corvette outrunning the volcano.
Oh, I love that. So it's well, he's driving, so that's always good. Toddler could represent like a new project that's starting and something that he feels he needs to save about it. Erupting volcano. So a volcano is like, it could be destruction. So he's saving something from being destroyed. So there must be some kind of, somebody's thrown a wrench into something. Could even be his own thoughts, like, you know, had a bad thought about something. That makes sense.
All right.
Perception.
Oh, I like that. I like that the analysis there. Perfect. Stacey, does that make sense at all to you, man? Hey, Mecca. Yeah, should we does anything else before we jump into the next dream, guys?
Yeah, we can break it up too if somebody wants a card pull or something.
Oh, yeah. Does anyone want a card pull in between? That way gives it a little bit of a... Oh, good. I'm glad that's... Sam, are you up for a card pull, my love? Hey, Wes.
I'm going to have you pull a card for me when I tell you about my dream. It's like, oh my God.
Well, I'm excited.
I actually got stumped. And this is where I would, yeah. And I just one thing that was said to me.
No way. All right. Yeah, we can totally do that. All right. This is
Rob wants a card too. And Sam. Hi, Wes.
Page of Wands. So what am I getting pulled to? Okay, Page of Wands. So page are usually fresh, new ideas, almost like a childlike wonder with things. Wands are more of it's like movement, working. I also think grounding with this because I associate the wands with trees, because especially since like these usually have like the little growths coming off of them. So I always think like the brand new idea, growth of something. The big thing that stuck out to me with this one this time was the fact that he's wearing yellow, and yellow is like your solar plexus area, which is you're almost like your seat of self, if you want to call it. Like that's where your power comes from, your ability to have like just, you know, taking a stand for yourself, having just the sense of who you are. And I feel like whatever, if you have some kind of a project or some sort of moving, something that you're moving into. Wow, I don't know why I can't talk all of a sudden. Like some kind of project that you're moving into, it's probably going to be something a little bit newer for you, as far as it's not something that you've completely done before, or bring that childlike wonder into it, because it's going to help you find that confidence within yourself to really take a hold of it. So it's just a kind of like one of those coming into your own, but there's some news or some new project that's going to come out of it. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, Sam, but that's what I'm getting.
Love that.
It's funny because like it depends. Like every time I look at a card, it's something different that pulls my eye. So it's not always the same read.
Yeah. And I feel like you're getting the download of information so quickly. That's why you kind of like, your brain's going faster.
Sometimes it's really hard for me. Like I know there's words that I want to get out and I can't get them out. Yeah. I don't know what that is, but did Rob want a card pull? Rob
He does.
All right. For Roberts. All right. Two of Swords. And so for the Two of Swords, there's a woman sitting in front of a big body of water. Water is always your emotion, right? So for me, what I was pulled to for this one was the moon. The moon is usually your emotional states that you tend to hide from everybody else, or the things that tend to fear you that you tend to fear or not want to face on an emotional level. I don't know if that makes sense. So like the kind of like the darker aspects of the self. So to me with this one, because there's a lot of water and the swords are your thought processes, right? That's your ability to get through an idea or just to think things through properly. They're crossed. So you're having a hard time making a decision. And something that might be holding you back from really feeling good about making a decision would be something that you don't necessarily either want to look at, or something that maybe on some small level that you're afraid of to face emotionally. I don't know if that makes sense at all, but you're going to struggle more than you have to unless you sit and just let things come to you and just face them as they come. But you will be able to make the decision. You just, if you want to get through it in a more fluid way, just sit with whatever scary things come to you and just face them, and then they'll kind of like melt away. They're not really, you are bigger than your thoughts, basically. I don't know if that makes sense, but there we go. Death card, please stop. Card pull me to see if the deck agrees. Ooh.
I like that.
Okay. Here we go, Stacy. Okay, so with the sun, your sun is new ideas, a new start, a fresh start. So this could be too, and there's also the child in there. So what I was drawn to right away was the child in this. So maybe letting some inner child, some part of you that you normally don't let run free, let it run free. And new, just a new chapter, like a whole fresh start can come out of this if you kind of just kind of like let that inner child run rampant. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that goes. So what was that with the volcano dream? What was the aspect of that?
He had a dream about a volcano, and it almost looks like, from what I can see, it looks like somebody sliding down a mountain. So I think that's kind of cool. And the sun would represent like the heat of the volcano.
Oh,
right?
Okay. See, okay, there you go. Perfect. There we go. And they were saving and then he was saving a toddler. There you go.
Yeah.
There's the child.
So I feel like it totally goes with that. And it's like,
totally I like
whatever, like you're saying, just go ahead and embrace those inner child thoughts. Maybe that's what it's all about.
Oh, I love that. Okay, that actually works.
Don't worry. You don't have to escape.
Oh, I like that. I don't know. Okay. I'm feeling a little bit better about how I read cards now. It kind of meshes. All right.
Oh, totally does.
It is so funny. And I was saying to Dee Dee before we started too, like I get so nervous before these things and it's ridiculous. Like I have this little routine. I have this little ritual that I do just to like, and in a way, I don't know if it's more of like, I'm asking for the other side for guidance. Like just help me figure out what I'm supposed to say. So I never really know what part of the card I'm going to pull for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I love that. And I get nervous too. I have no idea. Yeah, I've accepted that that's what happens to me. Maybe I need a ritual.
Oh, see, it helps a little bit. Like, takes
Yeah.
a little bit of that edge off for sure. Should we dive into the next dream? I'm excited to hear it.
Sure. Okay, let's see. So the second dream, see, I had another dream completely different a couple of years ago after my spouse died. I had a dream that I was at this location, his house. It was so massive, and the front of it was just beautiful. And there was a card and all the stuff in front. And you walked into the foyer, and there was a huge like water fountain. And I kept looking up, and there's all these staircases. I went down this long hallway or so, down this long hallway, and I thought, we'll all go down there later. So first I want to say, like, the water fountain, like as the entrance, the house is like yourself, and the water fountain is like the emotions, but they're contained emotions. So it's in a fountain. So she didn't say anything about the fountain being anything crazy about the fountain. So they are contained emotions. That could be good or bad, right? Maybe you're bottled up the emotions. So it says, I go up the stairs. I started going up the stairs, and I was going higher and higher. He was like going through the clouds and whatnot. I get to this one spot, and this guy goes, you can't be in there. I go, I just need to talk to him real quick. And he goes, you have to be quick because this is not going to be here that long. And I go in there, and I see him sitting on like a church pew. There was other people there. He just sat there quietly and just kind of looked at me quietly. You know, just the sadness in his eyes when he looked at me. And I go to this guy, can we just have a couple of minutes alone? And he goes, you have to be quick. So he asked everybody else to leave. Everybody went out of the room. And then all of a sudden his aunt came and sat next to him. And then all of a sudden the room just started shaking violently, and things started falling apart. I go to grab them, and I try to pull them out, and I get 2 steps out of the door, and the guy, like, no one can go with you. And then he just was gone. And I just kept running down. And as I'm running, everything's just falling apart. And I heard my name being called, and I kept running because I was told once, if you ever pass away, don't look back. If you hear people calling your name, just keep going. So I kept going. And when I got out of the foyer, everything just disintegrated, just like crumbled down to like nothing. And when I woke up, it was just an overwhelming feeling, like I almost was allowed to visit him in a way. And so for that one, I already said like what I thought about the beginning. And so that was the second one. So a couple of times it's mentioned the thing about what did it say? I can't read my own writing. That's so sad. You're waiting more. Oh, the fact that there's not enough time. What does he say? I just read it too. He says something like, there's not enough time, or you don't have much time. But that came up several times in the dream. And then she talked about not looking back. And so I came up with the fact that there's no more time for this, or you've already viewed it, and you have to stop looking back because you believe you won't survive. So if you dwell on it, you can't survive it. So whatever this feeling is about your loved one's death, is that your mind is telling you, or he could be telling you, that you need to move on because it's going to destroy you. And so then as far as a church goes, he was in a church. So I wondered, what does a church represent to you? Because it could represent different things to different people. But that's kind of where, you know, you met with him, you know, the mindset. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I felt like that was a dream saying, you know, it's time to let go. There's just no more time.
That makes sense, actually. Yeah, because that was a reoccurring thing there. So
yeah,
that kind of corresponds with the cards. There was a lot of almost having to just face certain aspects and struggling to get through something. So this one, this is the first one I pulled. This is 7 of Wands, and it looks So when I looked at this, the first thing I noticed was it almost looks like there's a struggle going on. Like he's having to fight to stand his own ground there against the other wands that are there. So it's almost like you're struggling with yourself to find your own footing is what I got from this one. And this was when you introduced the dream. And having to fight for your own, just to get your own footing, it's almost like saying that, okay, it's time for you to make a decision. It's time for you to kind of decide for yourself what direction you need to take and then stick with that direction. And then I got, when they were asking for a little bit more time, when she walked into the church, that whole scene is when I pulled this card. And this is what, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 of Cups. I don't know why I forget how to count as soon as the show starts. 8 of Cups. So for this one, this is always like there's the emotion because there's the water, there's the moon. So, and in this one, the man is kind of walking away. He's kind of receding into a cave. I don't know if you can see that. So he's kind of like having to just sit with things, kind of like letting everything just kind of mellow so that it's not so overwhelming. So this is almost one of those cards where it's just time to sit with your emotions, sit with what is going on in your life right now so that you can work your way through it and come back out of the cave and feel, like this is a new chapter in your life and that you have a better footing for yourself. And then when she had been talking about, she felt like things were falling apart. It was interesting because I got 8 of Wands, which for me, 8 of Wands is always things being removed from your path, obstacles being removed out of your way so that things can fall into place. So this is almost like maybe the dream was, like, as you said, the whole like just having to kind of just like move on from I hate to say it that way because it sounds so cold, but like to kind of just like let go what needs to be let go of so that things can fall into place.
Right.
I don't know, if that makes sense at all, but yeah, it's not so much that things maybe felt like they felt like they were falling apart because they're things that you just it's time to let go of.
Yeah. And it's like, I feel like everything fell apart and was destroyed because whatever was happening during that time, it's letting you know it's gone now, but you're left and you have to, let go of the different things that you're holding on to. And it could be all kinds of various things, but those are the things. It's just saying it's basically about its time, whatever that means and whatever it takes and whatever you have to let go of, that's,
This feels like, and just like on an emotional level too. And that's such a hard thing to do. Like, it's so easy to tell someone, oh, you just got,
right. But you always got to remember too, is it, if it's yourself telling you or your loved one telling you, it's coming from a place of love. And so it's okay to let it go because, you obviously for yourself, if you're telling yourself, it's because we know ourselves better than anything. And our inner self is trying to say, this is where our problem is, and this is how we can fix it. And if it's coming from the other side, they're in a better place and they're able to say this, it's time for you to move on so you can enjoy the time that you have left.
And then that's definitely from a place of love at that point. Yeah. Absolutely. I like that.
Just my theory.
Oh, I love that theory. I resonate with that. I love that. Okay, hopefully that made sense for you. I love just the whole
that was helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Sam. Does anyone have any questions in regards to like anything from any of their dreams? Is there a symbol that keeps popping up in your dreams that you'd like for Dee Dee to kind of walk you through?
Yeah, even numbers. Does anybody have? I brought my numbers book. I keep forgetting, but this time I brought it. Do you ever dream of numbers? I just dreamt of one of my dreams. It was what was the one? Oh, it was money. It was 120. But so then I just looked up 120. So it's interesting, and it did give me a message. So, and I don't know how my mind would know what's in this dream book. So I always think like that's universe, right? Because I don't have this book memorized. So
oh my gosh, no. I would think that there are certain things that I believe it's our higher self, our intuition kind of knows things a little bit better than we do, right? It's that aspect of us that is kind of like the know-all. So yeah. How would you be able to memorize that entire book and just be like, oh yeah, it's this?
That would be pretty cool. Let's see. 1111. Well, I know isn't that like oh God, I know it's like the spiritual number, but I don't think it's in this book. I think this book goes up to, let me see. It might go up to 1,000.
Oh.
It goes up to 999.
Oh. Well, how about it's like 11? Like 11 in general.
Yeah, I'll just look at 11.
Yeah.
But I feel like people talk about that all the time. Isn't that like the spiritual number to see 1111?
Yeah, I know.
Like
I've always make
been
a wish
told
or
to
make
something.
a wish. Yeah, make a wish when you see 1111.
I've done that.
I do it all the
Okay.
time.
Well, just 11 is the awakening, which is interesting.
Oh, I love that.
It says your angels want to send you signs, but first they need to make sure you'll be paying attention. This number asks you to notice the world around you so you don't miss the important messages coming your way. Ask your angels for confirmation after you see this number. Repetition is their way of getting your attention, which could be the 1111.
Okay. That kind of like makes it in a way like that's kind of like driving it home a little bit more too, right?
Yeah.
I love that.
444. All right, let's see.
Hey, Tanya. That's my girl, Tanya.
Let's see.
Yeah, both of us. 444 is a big number for the both.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So 444 is protective magic. Your prayers are heard. This number assures you that you are being heard. Your angels are guiding you, surrounding you, and answering your prayers of protection. It may be time of struggle, but you are led into the light by your guardians. Take a moment to thank your angels for their protective presence in your life.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
Feeling a little protected right now. I'm digging it.
Let's see. I listened to old time radio, Jack Benny, the great Gilded. Oh God. Pick it for me to read a word I can't do. Something Gilder sleeves?
I'm so sorry, dude. Wow.
I don't feel bad.
What's wrong with me?
See, Burns and Allen, it's on all night. Is that why I don't dream?
Oh, so she's listening to music while she's sleeping.
If you're listening to that while you're asleep, that would definitely interfere with your sleep. I'm surprised you're not dreaming of the characters that you're hearing on the radio.
Yeah, could your outside world it can bleed into your dream state, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Have you ever fallen asleep to the TV and like you're like dreaming you're in the episode or something? I mean,
yeah, you're right. I have done that. Totally.
Yeah. It would definitely come in there.
Little aspects of whatever I was watching. I fell asleep watching Jaws the one time. I had this whole horrific freaking oceans, dream afterwards. I'm like, oh, it's because I was watching Jaws right before.
Yeah. Yeah, that's happened to me after watching The Walking Dead and I dream of zombies. Oh. It's like, thanks for the dream symbol. Didn't want that.
Okay. So speaking of zombies, is that anything that you've had to look up for somebody before that it doesn't involve what is a zombie
it could be something different for each person, but usually it would be like death. It could be an enemy. It could be a threat. The one dream that I had, I was like in a boathouse and there was water. It was like the ocean. It was night. So everything was like kind of creepy. And I was trying to do something. I don't even remember what I was trying to accomplish, but I was trying to go through the boathouse and there were all these zombies. So I turned around. But what that meaning was for me is that as soon as I see a problem, I go the other way instead of facing it. So that was my lesson. So it wasn't as much about the zombie as what I needed to understand that, she saw a zombie. Now she turned around and left,
I'd be hightailing it the other way.
Reasonable, but.
Oh my goodness. Old radio shows. Oh.
Is that the same thing?
I think it kind of is. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Okay. So does anyone have any, does anyone want a card read before we move on to talking about different, I have dream symbols I wanted to ask about too. So if you dream about, would skeletons be like dreaming about, what would a skeleton, like if you have a skeleton in your dream? Because I had that not too long ago. Like I couldn't remember anything else about the dream, but I woke up and there was a skeleton in the dream. And I was like, I wanted to ask you and I keep forgetting.
Well, I mean, think about what a skeleton would mean to you. And what was the skeleton doing also? Like you don't remember anything about what was going on?
No, it was just kind of there. It was just like kind of it was just in the setting.
Oh, okay. Like almost like it didn't fit.
Yeah. It was
So
just
it's kind of like an elephant in the room kind of thing where
kind of
there's
thing.
something
Yeah.
going
like,
on, but there's something that doesn't quite fit is what I'm taking that to mean.
Okay. So it's almost like, well, like the elephant in the room situation then is kind of like something that, is it some aspect then you're just not confronting or?
Yeah, it could be something that's going on in your waking life. You know, that skeleton could represent, like, say there's something going on at your work, you know, maybe an example could be maybe somebody wasn't eating or they're stealing or there's something that's going on that like doesn't fit. You know what I mean? There's something out of place about that person or situation. And so that's why it's just there. Like, and it's just like, you see this, what's this, you know?
Okay.
But for you, like you have a skeleton in your room, right?
I do.
So
yeah, I do.
it's probably not like a fear thing.
I was going to say, you know, for me, it's not, skeletons in general are more of like, they're not terrifying to me at all. It's almost like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like there's no gender, there's no nationality. It's kind of like there's a word I'm looking for and I can't think of it, but just kind of like neutralizing everything in a way.
Yeah.
It's like the core of what we all are and that off of. So for me, it's kind of one of those kind of symbols for me, I think.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pay attention. Next time I have a skeleton in my dream, I'm gonna like have to make sure that I write it down because it might change the whole thing, right? So
yeah, because that would tell you like that's why I like that whole idea of asking somebody what the symbol means to them, because then you take what you say and you apply, how does that apply to the other things that were going on in the dream? Okay. And it gives you
I'm gonna have to make
big clues.
Andrew, I can absolutely pull a card for you, hon. Hold on. Here we go. This one's for Andrew. Okay, Ace of Pentacles, but this time my whole vision was pulled right to the hand itself. So this is almost like a new project of more of a materialistic. So something that's going to be coming into your life soon. It might even be something that it almost feels like it's being handed to you, if that makes sense. Not saying that you're not going to have to put an effort or have to put your own energies into this, but this is going to feel very easy for you. It's going to flow to you. So it's something that's going to be of the material world. So some sort of new job or new project, or just something that makes you feel really, really good about being a part of the project or just life in general, because also pentacles are more of like a grounded energy as well. I just feel like this is something that's almost going to feel like spirit driven almost, because it's the hand coming out of the cloud. So it's just going to flow really well for you, Andrew. I don't know if there's something coming up, or pay attention to things that are coming up, because there might be something really wonderful coming your way shortly that's just going to flow real easily to you. So
love that.
I love it too. So, okay. So with cards, we have the swords, the pentacles, the cups. What am I missing? Swords, pentacles, cups, wands. So there's the four suits, right? It's like the four elements. Is there something like that with dream analysis that like certain things mean certain elements, like the four elements of the
not that I can think of. I mean, everything kind of divides into like emotions or actions and stuff like that. Okay. That's what I've noticed. Like some things, like, you know, like the shadow represented something that she needed to deal with. So it was like something coming to her, where like Stacy driving the car, that was him driving his path. So it was like an action. So I see more like that kind of stuff. It doesn't mean that there isn't that. I just haven't like noticed it.
But yeah, okay, that makes sense. It's more like your action as to why things are Oh, you're so welcome. Yeah, it sounds like a very exciting thing coming your way. I love that, Andrew. So what's your favorite? So you pull a card for your dreams, right? Is this like a specific deck? I'm sorry. I know you've probably told me this before. Like, do you have like a specific dream deck that you use, or do you use like a tarot deck?
I have two. Well, actually, I have three decks. One is tarot, one's oracle, and the other one's like a psychiatry-based deck.
Oh,
let's see if I can remember what they're called. The tarot is the oracle is a dream interpretation deck.
Okay.
And then see, I don't know. The tarot is dream interpretations tarot deck. I don't know. Let me see. They're back here somewhere. But I can't see that far. Yeah, I do. I have three decks, but I can't tell you what they are.
You have three decks that you go through. I love that. No, and I love the fact that you pull a card with your dream interpretations, because it kind of like it helps enrich and kind of elevate what you're getting from the interpretation.
I really do like that. And I like the tarot is when things get really deep and they're a little bit harder. I like to do it and then pull the card afterwards to see how it connects, kind of like what we're doing here. And then the oracle ones are more like to kind of stimulate you to think. So it's all pictures, and you pick pictures that look similar to the symbols you saw in your dreams, and you use those to kind of work with and kind of like work with your memory and stuff. Okay. And then the psychiatry based ones are like dream dictionary, but it's based on like beliefs in science. And so like water being emotion seems to be something across the board that everybody agrees with, right? So it's like that, and it's the 50 or 60 most common dream symbols. And so like, say if somebody wasn't interested in tarot or oracle cards, you still have the option of like psychiatry based cards,
Okay, I like that. So yeah, so because for some people, tarot and oracle cards are a little bit more woo-woo, right? Like they don't necessarily, so that brings it back to almost like more grounded level for them, because it's science-based.
Right, yeah. And it'll also inspire thought, because those cards will go through the symbol and give you, and I've done some of my dream symbols that I've put on YouTube for the shorts. Some of those have come from those cards, and it really breaks it down. So again, it's always to inspire. All these things are to inspire thought. Like if somebody gives you an interpretation or a reading, and I think we both agree on this, it's supposed to get you to think for yourself. Yeah. And how does this fit into my life? Or what do I think? I believe that with all of that, even dreams, that is what it's doing. It's presenting these ideas to you, and you're supposed to work with it. You're not just supposed to wake up and be like, okay.
It's our way of communicating with ourselves, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why not pay attention to it? I love that.
Yeah.
This is do you switch up your deck for the show? So I have not been. So what I've been using is the Rider-Waite-Smith. It's just the traditional deck that most people use when they start, just because it's the most recognized as like an original deck. But I do have a second deck with me in case for some reason I would get stuck with this one. I do have my my cute ghost tarot. I haven't busted it out because I feel like I've been flowing pretty well with the Rider-Waite-Smith. But yeah, I feel like, if you're flowing good with a deck, why switch it up? So
yeah.
It's
tempting though, because they're all so interesting. You want to buy, like I saw some on Amazon. They were all aliens. And there's all the different types of aliens. And I was like, and it's just like the pictures are really good. They're cute. Good, and I'm like, that's on my wish list. I want to get that when I can.
Yeah, I mean, I do love the different artwork on the different decks. I think I have like almost 18 decks, I think, right now that I'll try to cycle through them for my daily pulls for divination with Danny. But yeah, if there's something where someone really needs an answer and it's more of a serious matter, I'll go to the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, just because it's the one that I started with and I'm more comfortable with it than the other deck.
Yeah. That makes sense.
D-Hoot. I can pull a card for you. Absolutely.
Ooh, in regards to 2024.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. Do you get people that ask you to pull cards for the following year and stuff? Or for
I have. It's a spread that I haven't done a lot of work with. I would actually have to bust out a manual for it, but there is a whole spread to in the new year to kind of like plan out or plot your entire year.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I always wanted to try it, but then I always forget about it. So I'm like, when it's
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Okay. So I ended up pulling 2 cards for you. So the first card that I got was King of Wands. And when I'm looking at him, I'm noticing, here, I'll show you what it looks like. I'm noticing his face First off, it just seems like he's very deep in thought with this. So this is something where he's going to be very confident in his decision-making skills as far as moving forward with anything that has to do with for me, with wands, it's more of the material. It's the more of the grounding, more of the natural aspects of your life. So anything that is involving moving forward with your health or your well-being, for me, that's how that represents. So this is kind of one of those, just kind of taking charge of your situation. And then I have the 6 of Wands, because I needed something to clarify, like, okay, what are you going to be focusing on? What is coming out of your focusing on yourself as far as just being part of the grounded situation. And this is more of like, so the victory wreath for me was what I got pulled to. So this is like, whatever you're going to be doing for 2024, whatever you're doing for yourself this coming year is going to really put you on track for celebrating your own life and just being there for your friends and your family and just for being around people that you truly enjoy. This is kind of like a homecoming to yourself. You're going to really be just tapping into kind of like your own personal power in 2024.
I love that.
So yeah, it's exciting, Dihu. Weird question. Can I pull? Oh, I would love to. Absolutely. So Cody and Satori, they're the sweetest people. I absolutely adore them. And I would love to pull a card for them. So let's see what we can do here. Okay. So Knight of Pentacles, but let me pull another card because I need to know what I'm looking at here. So almost like, so I pulled Knight of Pentacles. I'll show you. I want another card for clarification. But so what I'm personally getting from this is almost like having to survey a situation, having to plan your strategies before moving forward. This is also going to be something that's going to set future for just even like on a monetary level, for a materialistic level. And then 2 of Pentacles. So this is, you're having to survey because there's a decision that needs to be made. Okay. All right. So it's going to take strategy for them to be moving. Whatever decision they make is going to have to take strategy. They have a difficult decision to make. Ref sees his emotion. So there's a lot of emotion that's going to be going into this. The fact that there is the balancing act that's going on here means it's going to take the strategy of balancing out your emotions and what's actually at hand, and how exactly do they want to step into whatever is in front of them. But they're going to be able to make that decision, and they're going to come out of this really strong. Their intuition is going to guide them. Queen of Cups she's very much she's tapped into her intuition. She's very tapped into the other side. She's very confident in her abilities. So whatever is ahead of them, they're going to make the right decisions. It's going to balance out for them. And as far as what my card pull says here is that Spirit's kind of guiding that too. Like their intuition, spirit, just energies around them are going to guide them in a proper direction. So I don't know if that makes sense for anything that you got for it, Stacey, but that's what I'm getting for it. So, I mean, kind of nice. I like it. I really do like that.
Yeah. Now he has to tell us if it matched up.
So may I have a 2024 card pull, please? Absolutely, Mecca. Okay. Six of Pentacles. So when I looked at this, the first thing that I saw was there's a man and he's got the balance and he's giving to those that are less fortunate. So my eyes went right to the fact that he is giving something to somebody else. So this is going to be this nice flow of give and take for you in 2024. You're going to give where you, if you're able to give where you can, and then you'll get that reciprocated. So this is going to be this nice, like, balancing act of energies and just the love and respect flowing from both sides. I don't know if that makes sense to me at all, but I think that's a very lovely card to pull for 2024.
Yeah. That's what everybody wants, right?
Ooh,
let's see.
Sam had a dream.
She had a dream about the Idaho 4 was murdered by Brian Koberger, and I connected to Kaylee and we were friends in the dream. Well, the house went from looking nice to dark and abandoned looking, and she disappeared, and I felt like I was trying to find her to protect her, and I woke up crying for that. So, well, one is I know Sam gets really into these true crime things, so that's where that came from. But like, is there an aspect of yourself, like, just you, like, anytime you write out a dream, go back and read what she said. She's saying that, you know, she's in her house is self, but somehow it turns dark. So something is bothering her, abandoned. It could be that, and in this case, I almost feel like there's a not knowing what to do. Like there's no tools there to work with. And she's looking for, it says, and she disappeared, and I felt like I was trying to find her to protect her. So it's almost like she's trying to find that aspect of herself that either to protect it or for it to protect her. And she woke up crying because the deeper meaning of it is not whether or not a spirit's coming to visit you, but that you feel like you've lost some aspect of yourself that has something to do with the protection.
Oh, I pulled a card for this too, which
Yeah.
kind of, it flows with that. So the 3 of Pentacles, and it shows there's someone working on their craft and sharing with somebody else the knowledge, like having to share knowledge with each other, having to work as a team to kind of build upon your skill set. So it's almost like when you're saying about like not having the tools or feeling like you're losing some aspect, this is just saying that, you know, it's sometimes you might have to lean on somebody else to regain part of what you feel like you've lost. You've not actually lost it. It's just you kind of need someone to bounce off of.
Yeah, or find it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you believe we can will ourselves into someone else's dreams?
Ooh.
I think maybe we could. I'd love to believe that we could. I'd like to do an experiment with that, and maybe that could be like a dream study.
That would be fun.
I know that somehow we do sometimes intersect in each other's dreams and get information out of other people's lives. So I think it's totally possible, but I've never actually tried it. Maybe we should all do an experiment.
Oh, that would be fun. That would totally be good for that. Now that I'm finally starting to remember dreams again.
Yeah.
Absolutely. My goodness. Oh, I love that she's in for the dream study.
Yeah. That'd be really interesting.
So you were, I don't know if this was something that you wanted to share for this one, but you had mentioned something about having a dream, but more of like a nightmare. Is that?
Oh, yeah. And you have a dream too.
Oh, I do.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to, okay. So my dream, it's funny because even though it was my dream and I like did the analysis, I'm barely remembering it anymore. But oh yeah, it was the dream with the 122. So I'll just read it to you. It says, okay. I was visiting a museum, which the interesting thing about this museum, and I didn't realize it until I was writing this all out and doing the analysis. This is a repetitive dream. Oh. We all have many repetitive dreams and we don't even realize it. And if we're not looking for it, I'm just now realizing after doing my last dream study that because somebody else had mentioned that. And I'm noticing now that I have many places I go to, and this museum is one of the places that I go to. And so now when I'm in the dream, so it's almost creating lucid dreaming for me, which I've always had a struggle trying to get into, because now I'm becoming aware, wait a minute, I'm in a dream. And so maybe that's the trick is it's because I'm in the same place. But anyways, so I'm in this museum. I went, and then in the dream, I'm aware that I went 2 times in one day, and it was my 3rd visit. I said, I heard them say the owner only made $120 and would have to close down. At one point, it was a bank. Then out the back door glass, I saw a wolf, but I couldn't get a picture of it. And everyone said it's just a dog. And I couldn't prove it because I couldn't get a picture of it. I was in a hotel room with 2 beds, and this is where I start to turn to a nightmare. My roommate was hanging on the wall like a picture, and I was gutting her. So, and I said, you are making me do this. So it started to get really violent and scary.
Oh.
Then I sat down on my twin bed. There were 2 of them separated by an end table, and the water started to drip on my head. I was going to some big, and there was like a union. So there was like the union was there, and there was the opposing people, and they were fighting. And there was some guy they captured, and they had him like on his knees, and he was all bound and gagged. And I think they were going to shoot him. And so I'm like screaming that he needs help. And then everybody got mad at me. And so here's the part that I've got to have you pull a card for me. So I'm in like what, like the old train cars that are like in the coal mine. So it's just like a little cart that's open. It's just like put the coal in. Well, I was riding in one of those with the union leader. And there were 2 guys in the next car that were mad at me for saying that they were, that messing up their whole like revolution or whatever they were doing. And so I say to the guy that I'm with, I say, but tell them I am friends with your daughter. And then I said, oh, but she's just like me. And I'm like, what? I cannot. I like tried all different ways to think of that. And I'm like, I have no idea what that means. But
wait, say that part again?
It's I say to the guy, tell them, try to get them not to be mad at me. I said, tell them I am friends with your daughter. And then I said, but she's just like me.
Huh.
So, I mean, it could all be different aspects of myself. I don't know. So I came up with, I keep revisiting the past, but it's not supporting me. I looked up 120 and it's moon magic. Look within to set an intention that serves your highest good. So basically what it's telling me is I'm setting intentions, but you have to have the follow through. Okay. And so the bank to me, I felt was like my version of the universe. And because I'm going there seeking guidance, right? The money in this dream. And I need to go to the forest is like that whole world. My world is in that forest, but I can't go out the door because there's this big, mangy, scary looking wolf again. And so what do? I don't go outside. I just take a picture of it and go to tell other people who just say to me, it's fine. It's just a dog. And I'm like, no, it's a scary wolf. Right. And so then what else did I come up with? So the mangy wolf to me was like, again, just like the zombies, it's something that I can't deal with. And then it says, the water dripping on my head was me either feeling overwhelmed by my responsibilities or emotions, struggling between pursuing a goal and staying safe, which is totally me, fearing of letting go of something that provides comfort and security, difficulty breaking out of old habits, a warning for difficult times ahead, feeling stuck in a situation despite wanting to move on, facing uncomfortable truths. I was like, oh my God, all those things could fit. And then the 2 groups fighting was my own inner conflict. And for me, none of them were good, but I hated the fact they were all fighting with each other. Okay. And then, but I wanted you to pull a card for the universe to tell me, what does that mean that I'm, and I could say it again if you want.
No, yeah.
I'm friends with your daughter, but she's just like me. So I think gutting somebody in your dream is a nightmare. To me, that's kind of a nightmare. I didn't like it.
I mean, yeah, that kind of really is. It's a little terrifying. So I was pulling cards the whole time, but for that whole part of, but she's just like me. There's almost like, so I got Knight of Cups, and I'm trying to like see like what comes to mind. And his helmet has the little wings. So it's almost like he's coming swiftly to deliver a message that's going to be of an emotional or a heartfelt. So some sort of emotion-based, like maybe there's some aspect of like a mirroring of emotion in some aspect of, which makes sense for this. Hold on. So as I was pulling, so it got Hanged Man too. So part of that, do you ever feel like it's harder for you to make a decision unless you're making it because there's somebody else involved? This is almost like, so yeah. So for me, when I see Hanged Man, it's always like I don't know if the word martyr is the right word for this, but like you'll jump in if you know it's to save somebody else, but you maybe necessarily you'll maybe hesitate more if it's just to save yourself, but sometimes you need to jump in and save yourself kind of a thing. And like, that's kind of what I got for this, was like the not wanting to, like, you know that it's good to jump in for yourself, but you're more willing to do it just because it's for somebody else.
Yeah.
And also too, with the whole girl, she's just like me, Page of Cups. So Page of Cups is more of usually like something to do with a child coming to the picture or some childlike energy. This could also be a new idea or a new concept. So I don't know if they're like, with this, is there some sort of a concept that maybe you're either playing with, or maybe it would be beneficial to look at as far as mirrored imaging, maybe like something with how we all interconnect. Like maybe you're fighting some part of your, I don't know where I'm going with this. That's just what's coming to me. But the last card I pulled for that was the World. So it's whatever all this energy is. And there's a lot to do with the cups here too. So it's a lot of emotion, but it's to bring you to a point where you can see the bigger picture. Like it's all going to like funnel in together. And it's going to be like, oh, I get it now. I don't know if maybe some of that is just putting yourself first. Maybe, I don't know. Because the whole with the Hanged Man and the Page of Cups, like the child aspect, and you're mirroring with the she's just like me. I don't know.
Yeah, because she's hanging on the wall. There's 2 twin beds, and I'm hurting her, but I'm saying you're making me do this, and then there's like a conflict. It's everything's in 2s, so that goes with that. Yeah.
Okay. All right, and even the fact that Hanged Man, like you have someone hanging on the wall, just
that's right.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah.
Don't want to share a room with me.
I think that does qualify for a nightmare, actually. I'm pretty sure. Wow. Okay. I love that though, but I feel like that is, I don't know why I keep feeling like there's a mirroring thing there. Like, I don't know. I'm going to go with, like that's some part of just recognizing yourself maybe and others.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
I'm going to go with that. So what do we have here on the side here?
It's like, are you guys still here? Sorry, we just went off.
No, I love that dream though. It was phenomenal. So is that one of those, did you wake up going, what the heck is going on? Or was that one of those, like, you're like, okay, I know there's some meanings in here. Like, how do you handle when you wake up from a nightmare?
Well, I was disturbed because it was like a disturbing images, and it was also all over the place. There were so many different things that dreams kept bleeding and changing very quickly.
Oh, wow.
And so it was like exhausting, but I always wake up when I have crazy dreams like that, kind of excited because I'm like, oh, this means something, but I still like, I have the visual memory of seeing myself gutting this woman. And it's like, but I know it's an aspect of myself. And I even say, you're making me do this. So it's almost like, I almost feel like the dreamer was representing like my shadow self, the negative self. And the one hanging on the wall was the version of me who wants to accomplish things, but she feels stuck. And this darker aspect is hurting her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta look at it that way.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. That's actually a really beautiful, not that I'm saying like that whole aspect that's beautiful, but like it's a beautiful way of looking at it. Like that's the whole right there. That's the point of the whole dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Someday I'm going to pay attention.
I'm the same way though. I'm exactly the same way with that stuff. So do we still have people on the side?
I know. I'm like, everybody got really quiet. They're like, I don't know.
Anyone that's had a nightmare?
People are here. They're just quiet.
Well, we have, should we go through one last dream then before we
Sure. Do you want to do yours, or do you want to, I don't know if it's Faye still here. I can send Faye the last thing too, or we can do both.
All right.
The last
Yeah,
one I had
I
for her
kind of
was,
like to hear what you thought about that dream that I had, because it was a little off the wall for me.
yeah. Do you want to tell your dream?
Well, yeah,
Because
I'm gonna pull up the email I sent you, and I'll just
it
kind
was
of
a
like
really
read
long,
it.
big, detailed dream.
It was, I woke up and I was so excited that, so for anyone on the side that doesn't really, I went through a whole, oh my God, it felt like it was forever, where I wasn't remembering dreams. Like the second we decided that we were going to do this, all of a sudden my brain was like, nope, you're not going to have any dreams to contribute. So now I'm finally starting to get them back. So I was really excited that I could remember this one. So the second I woke up, I kind of wrote everything down. So, all right. Just to like run through it real quick. So
yeah.
I honest to God don't even remember how this dream started. So I have no idea how I got into this scenario to begin with, but I was with this group of people and we had to do some kind of like a competency test of some sort, but it was for this like really rich business mogul. And it was, it was more of like a driving obstacle course. And like, I have no idea, honestly, now that I'm saying this, like, I have no idea how that's a competency test, but okay, that's fine. So we're driving down this obstacle course and everyone has their own vehicle. So like everyone from this group has their own car, except for myself, I have somebody with me. And this person in the dream is my friend, but in the waking life, like it's not anybody I actually know. And it's not someone I could be like, oh, they act like so-and-so. No idea. But in the dream, this person's my friend and they're in the car with me. During the obstacle course, it's like a racetrack and there's like a few twists and turns, but it's like it's in an arena, but it feels a lot bigger than it actually is. So as we're doing this, I do like 2 laps, right? And then I start noticing after my second lap that there are cars coming from the opposite direction, like they're going the wrong way. And right as I notice this, I turn the corner and there's kind of like this exit, like an offshoot with an arrow pointing to the right. So like now I would have the option of I could go right or I could continue going down the same path. So I continue down the same path that I was, right? And let's see. So then as soon as I decide that I'm going to go down the same path, I instantly realized that if I would have taken the ramp, that would have changed my direction in the course. And then I would have been following everybody else. Like, so everyone that I had thought that was going the wrong way, I would have actually been going with the new flow of traffic if I would have taken that off ramp, but I didn't. And so then on my next turnaround, for some reason, I still choose not to take the ramp, right? I still choose to go the same way that I had been going. And as soon as I decide that I'm going to go straight and I don't take the ramp, it's almost like the road widens to allow for extra lanes to happen. And then there's like this multitude, like 4 or 5 tractor trailers now, and they're all coming at me. So there's nowhere for me to go. So I have to go off of the road. Otherwise I'm going to get hit by these tractor trailers. So I cut the wheel and I take the car off to the left-hand side of the road. But as soon as I decide to go off to the left-hand side of the road, there are these giant bolts that are sticking straight up out of the side, but it's like they're supposed to be there, like they're part of the obstacle course for some reason. And so there's no way to get around it. I'm going to have to run these over. I get a flat tire. And at first I think it's just the driver's side that I got the flat tire on. Let's see. And then, until I get it off of the track. So there's no way to avoid it. Let's see. So, I get my car off of the track because I'm going to confront the owner now because I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And then as soon as I get the car off the track, I notice that all 4 tires are flat. It's not just the driver's side. And I remember like doing this, like I was confused and I was like slightly put off that things like, it was just like a weird situation, but I wasn't aggressively mad or anything. Like I was just like, okay, well, this happened. We got to fix it. Right. And so as soon as, and as I am noticing that all 4 of my tires are flat, the woman that's my friend in the dream, she makes a comment that I need to make sure I get the car fixed because I'm her ride. So it's almost like the whole reason I'm her friend is to be her chauffeur kind of a thing. So then in the dream, it felt like I was spending I spent hours on the phone trying to get a hold of somebody, right? I could not get a hold of anyone to help me fix this damn car. So at one point, the rich business mogul, it's on his property, right? And there's this big gathering or celebration going on while I'm trying to get the car fixed. So he comes over and he makes a comment about my attempts to get the car fixed. And I tell him to F off. And then I ask him why the hell he would make the track like that. And he said, it's because it'll be revolutionary. And then I tell him that he's an asshole. And then after that conversation, I finally get a hold of somebody, right? Someone finally on the other end of the phone answers. And so when they go to tell me their name, for some reason, I can't comprehend what they're telling me. Like I hear them talking, but I don't understand what they're telling me when they're trying to tell me their name. And then, so like the phone call continues. I give them the information that they need to come and help me. And then one of the questions that they ask is that if they have permission to follow my journey through abandoned and haunted locations on social media. And the question kind of completely throws me off because like, we're trying to get my car fixed. Like, why are you asking me about my social media? So then I ask them to repeat themselves and they do. And they say the exact same thing. So I'm like, are you actually State Farm? And then they confirm that they are State Farm. And then I wake up. I'm just like,
I love that dream. Oh my God. Okay. So let's see. The first thing that I want to point out is at the end, how it points out the fact that you're going to the haunted locations. And so I feel like it's letting you know it's about that, like part of your journey, part of your path, that the dream revolves around that, because that was like very out of place just to be it's like your subconscious got tired and it's like, well, let's just throw this in here so that we know what we're talking about. It's like there's subconscious, like got like you're so creative that your subconscious made up this really amazing dream. And then it was like, okay, well, where are we going with this?
You kind of got itself lost for a little bit.
Yeah.
Here, this is what we're talking about.
I also noticed the very first thing that you had said to me when you sent it to me was, and you said it again, is I'm not sure how I got into this scenario. Okay.
Yeah, it's just
so I took that as like with your path too, right? You don't know how you got here to wherever you're being tested. Okay. So something makes you feel tested. It doesn't mean you are. It could be you testing yourself. And so, but you are in control of your path because you're driving. You've got all these different, like you keep getting this choice that keeps coming up, but you're not taking it.
Yeah. No.
But totally then at some point you're forced, because you didn't take that choice. It like drove you off, forced you off of the road because now you wasn't going to give you that choice anymore. It just threw you off the road and you started having problems. But the girl in the car, I think that that's an aspect of you. And I think that's why she's saying, you're my ride. So you need to get this shit going. You know what I mean? And so let's see, you have, what did I write here? You have come across many obstacles. Yeah. So that I already said that. And then because, let's see. I want to know, what does the mogul represent to you?
The business mogul?
That's something you have to try to figure out. What does that represent? And then sometimes you feel like you're going a different way than others. Some of them could be threatening your travel. You're trying to get help, but others, and then you feel like others are having fun and celebrating while you still struggle, and it's pointed out to you, which you didn't like. So, right?
Sounds like me. Yeah.
And then, so I want to know, what's the definition of revolutionary, like according to the dictionary, and it's dramatic change. So this testing method that's being put on you is to create a dramatic change.
Whoa. Okay. Wow.
State Farm, to me, insurance represents like a guarantee or, like a safety net. And so what it's telling you is, I mean, I hope that makes sense, but that's what the test is about. And what the mogul is, since that's like a focal point of it could be you, but it's what's making you feel like you're being tested. And again, every single character could still be you. It could also be other people, but it could be you too.
I'm going to have to sit with that because I'm trying to think of like, what would a business mogul mean to me? And it would be like, first thing off the top of my head is like, it's someone that holds the card for opportunities and stuff, because they don't really have to worry about all the little things. They're, rich as all hell business mogul. They can basically do whatever the hell they want. So
could it just be opportunity?
Could be opportunity. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. It could be opportunity. Like, kind of opportunities, kind of like, hey, here it is. Like,
this is what you got to go through to get whatever it is.
And the fact too,
trying to
like
achieve.
it's the whole opportunities and everything. And since I wasn't picking them, like I had to, like, it made me make a
Right.
choice. And now it's more difficult than if I would have just went with the
Right.
off the off ramp, right?
Yeah.
So
And I really think that the girl is you, another aspect of you being
that
like,
makes sense.
get it together.
Kind of like almost like a dream of like get out of your own way, almost like
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, see, yours is so much nicer. You're like driving race cars and stuff, and I'm like gunning people. It's kind of the same thing.
I tell you what though, but
What was
yeah,
Stacy?
I have no idea what car I was driving. I have no clue. I know it was a car. Like a sedan kind of a thing. It wasn't like a race car for sure, but oh my goodness. All right.
You should pull a card for yourself.
I did pull one. Oh, and I just pulled another one for validation. So as you were talking about it, I got the 3 of Pentacles, which is honing your skill set, learning different aspects of your skill set, learning from others, teaching others, just kind of like that back and forth of an education of your talents and just what you can expect of yourself as far as like a knowledge base. And then I needed something to validate that, but I think it's tapping into intuition too, because I got the Queen of Cups with that. So yeah, I don't know, maybe that's the whole, like, because I am into the paranormal and I'm also very much into more of like the spiritual, the more of the energetic side, especially like with the, the tarot, the dream interpretation, this whole thing that we're doing here is just, it's very exciting to me because it's something I'm very passionate about. So there's a lot going on right now as far as like wanting to hone skill sets too,
Yeah, definitely.
A card for you.
Stand-in producer.
Oh, yes. Let me see this. I love this. Card for Miss Sarah. Oops.
Ooh, did it jump?
Oh, when that hopped out of the deck. Hold on.
Wow, I love that. Those are the best ones.
Hold on. We are going to clear the deck though, because that's the same one I just had. Hold on.
I learned that from you now. I never did that. I'm like, oh my God, of course that makes sense.
Yeah, just kind of like shakes the vibration out.
Yeah.
When I first started, because I think it says I was so nervous all the time. I would always have to, like, I'd get so stuck with the deck. I'd have to clear it all the time. Okay. I want a clarification card. Okay, so I'll show the cards in a minute here. What I'm seeing is, so King of Pentacles on this deck, it's a king who's looking very comfortable in his throne with a robe that has a bunch of grapes on it. So coming into just enjoying the fruits of your labor, enjoying all of the work that you've done for yourself. Okay, I'll show you. I pulled 3 because I needed clarification. So King of Pentacles, kind of feeling your groundedness, feeling your place in the world almost, because he's very looking very comfortable sitting there, and just all of the grapes and the ripeness and the just being in that flow of energy that is abundance in a way. Don't let yourself get in your own way though. Right now you might be stumbling through something, or you may have just been coming out of something where you could have. So this is either like, don't be afraid to ask for help, because there's a lot of hats that you're wearing right now. There's a lot going on in your life, and you're feeling like you have to be on top of your game for every single aspect of that all the time. So it makes it more difficult to move forward. So prioritizing yourself in this situation, regardless of how selfish that sounds, it's not selfish. Prioritize yourself there, and things fall into place. I love the 8 of Wands. It's my favorite card because it's just like the universe is just clearing all of the garbage that's in your path so that everything falls exactly the way it needs to. It's kind of like that card of manifestation almost, right? Because things are going where they need to. Aw, I'm glad that you liked that. That was a nice card pull. I love this.
Yeah.
So where are we at with things? Did we get through the dreams?
We did. We just had to the last one for Faye, but if she's not here, I can send it to her.
Faye, are you still here? Let us know if you're still here.
Yeah.
And if anyone else had any questions, like dream interpretation questions or whatever, let us know. Throw them up there.
Oh, she's here. Okay. So let's see. What was her last dream? Let's see. Okay. Third dream. I had another dream that always stands out to me. I walked into this big building. It was made of concrete, and I was walking up the stairway. There was nothing there, just open space, concrete pillars. I walk up the stairway, and it goes to this landing, and it's quiet, and I felt somebody with me, and I walk into the landing looking in there, got a few feet, and it's black, and I see a shadow figure. So the shadow figure again. I took a couple of steps to go towards to find out who it was or whatever, and I got this voice of whoever was with me said, "This is not for you to follow. You need to leave now." So I go back down the stairs, and I go into a door on the main level. And when I was in that room, there was like all these souls around, and I was trying to help them pass on and everything. And they were, helping them move on. And they did it just was overwhelming feeling of love and gratitude and joy. And I woke up with tears in my eyes. So that one, the big building is like the future. There's nothing there yet. It's something that you're trying to build. The voice says this is not for you to follow. So I think it's because you could be still dwelling on something from the past. The blackness is, in this case, I feel like it's kind of a transition into the next segment of the dream where all the souls are passing. And I feel like helping all these souls pass on is you going through the things that you need to let go of. So you're letting go of different things that are holding you back. And it's the process to help you move forward so that you can go up the stairs, because what she says is that it's a place of love, gratitude, and joy. So she's getting rid of all the shadow and all this stuff. And it leaves her in an open, quiet space that's full of love, joy, and gratitude.
I love that. So it's kind of like almost like a transformation in a way, right?
Yeah.
Because as you were playing the first part of that, I got Queen of Swords, and I noticed on her throne there are butterflies, and then there's like a cherub's face. So for me, I was thinking that's more of like a transformation of thought processes, or needing to have that transformation of thought processes and getting comfortable with how that flows for you. And then I got, what is that? The 9 of Cups. And that's all about abundance and happiness and just being excited to be alive and just like all of those good, abundant feelings. So it's almost like this was like a transformation of your thoughts and your emotions into this place of just absolute enjoyment. So I like that. That's kind of almost exactly what you were saying with it, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kind of perfect.
That's beautiful. It's basically, you're ready. It's time. And that's what the dreams are telling you.
Oh, I love that. That was a nice one to end on. I love that so much. Hey, Trevor, how are you?
Yeah. Does he want a card before we go?
Before we wrap up, Trevor, do you have any dream interpretation questions, or would you like a card pulled at all?
Oh, good.
Welcome.
I'm glad that was helpful.
I am too. So give Trevor a second here. Oh, okay. We got this, Trevor. I'm going to pull a card for you. He jumped. Hold on. Okay, so three of wands. So for when I look at this one, for this time, it's almost like, I don't know if you can see it, but there's an ocean in the background there. There's ships coming into port. This is one of those you've made or you're about to make a decision, and things are going to fall in place for this, but you have to have the patience to let your ship come in. So this is just going to be a time of just like letting all of the goodness manifest itself into being. So yeah, whatever, if you've already made the decision, it's an awesome decision and it's going to come your way. It's just going to take a little bit of time for the universe to get things in order for you, but it is coming your way. So keep throwing all those good, happy vibes at it. If not, you're about to be making a decision soon, and just flow with your heart and then allow for it to come to you.
Like what he said, looking off into the distance at your hopes and dreams.
Yes, exactly. And they are coming to you. They're on their way.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad you loved it. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Dee, was there anything else? I feel like
I always feel like I'm forgetting something, but I never know what it is.
I'm always like that too. Always. I don't know. I think this was really nice to be able to hear all the different dreams and to go through it. And we had amazing people on the side tonight. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us and sharing your dreams, because that's a big deal to share your dreams.
It is. It really is. So yeah, thank you for being vulnerable and trusting enough with us with your dreams and for allowing us to pull a card. Next show, we've been kind of doing this every other Sunday.
I think that would be the 10th if it's 2 weeks.
So possibly the 10th. We can we'll make sure that our schedules work for that, and then we can run with the 10th then. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
definitely. Yeah. So start sending your dreams in now.
Yes, please. If you have any dreams, keep track of them, guys. Send them in. You can send them to either Dee Dee. What is your email? I'm so sorry. I should know this.
Okay. My head. It's info@thedreamsinterpreter.com. It's dreams, plural. Otherwise, you could just send it to us on Facebook if you're on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Either one of our pages.
Messenger or email, and let us know if you're okay with us using your name. Let us know if there's anything about it that you'd rather keep private and you just want to know. Like, let us know ahead of time. No big deal. We want to try to keep it respectful as possible. But yeah, send us your dreams if you guys want to know. Dee Dee does an amazing breakdown of what everything means. You spend a lot of time on that, so I really appreciate that. You really do. Like, you do a deep dive.
I do. Amazing. And if you're somebody who like wants a dream interpretation, but you don't want it to be public and all that, I do dream interpretations. I'm running a special to the end of the year. It's only $25 and you get like the full treatment, and we'll talk back and forth, privately about, what it could mean. Sometimes it takes a few, back and forths to really where everybody's not watching to get what you need to know,
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So please send in the dreams. I love that. And we will see you in 2 weeks, guys, for dream interpretation and tarot, and bring all of your questions to the table. We'll try to help you guys out. Thank you so much for spending your evening with us. We do appreciate that. Dee Dee, thank you so much for doing what you do with the dream interpretations and for allowing me to be here with you. This is amazing. Thank you.
Oh no, I feel the same way. I feel so blessed that we're doing this together, because it really does. It just flows. It works. And I'm learning again. I'm learning more and more with the tarot. And eventually I'm going to remember it.
Every time I learned something new about dreams. I love it. Thank you.
It's cool. We're learning as we go.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, with that, I think we're good, right? This is all right.
We don't know how to end the show.
All right, everyone. We'll see you in 2 weeks. I'm always so awkward with the endings. Like, All right, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.